Hi, I'm Julie Lewinsky from Care Patrol, and we are here with one of our first 2x2 challenges for 2025. And I'm so excited, and I want to just remind everybody what the 2x2 challenge is actually about. This is something that is really to help to raise awareness and funds to the Walk to End Alzheimer's and support all of the programming, services, and advocacy that they provide. But it's also on more of a local level, something to help us to connect with one another, hear real voices about services, products that are out there to help to support people with dementia and connecting those dots. Organizations and employers that are doing things for their employees that are caregivers and highlighting that culture here in our community. Um, Looking at connecting with national products and services that can help to support individuals with Alzheimer's and dementia as well as their caregivers. So we're doing this 2x2 challenge, and I want to challenge anybody that is watching this to participate in that. That if you make a donation to one of our walk pages with Upstate Care Patrol, which you can find the link down below, that you can also join us in this podcast style 2x2 challenge to share your story in regards to those aspects. So today I have Chelsea Torgowski joining me from the Alzheimer's Association, and she is a education program manager there. So she is going to take the challenge with us today. So welcome, Chelsea.
Thank you so much for having me, Julie, and thank you for all you do to support us and help get the word out.
It's my pleasure. It's something that hits home to me and my family, as well as something that we see every day with the clients that we serve with Care Patrol. So, super important for us to try to elevate this throughout our community. So, um, 2x2 challenge, you typically have 2 minutes to answer each of the two questions. However, since this is all about the Alzheimer's Association and raising awareness for you guys, I'm not going to be so strict on that 2 minute limit for your questions here because I really want folks to hear about everything that you have to share from that perspective. So I'm going to jump right in. In what ways does the Western New York Alzheimer's Association chapter make a difference for those navigating life with dementia? And as part of that, can you please highlight some of the programs and services that you have here locally that help to do just that?
Yeah, so what do we have for those navigating dementia? So, for those who are personally affected by it, meaning they have the disease, we have a lot of resources on our website to help plan for the future, better understand the disease. But locally, we also have our early stage support program. This is a time limited program that we have every couple months where people can get together, both caregivers and those living with dementia, learn more about what's available, as well as meet other people who are dealing with going on this journey and this disease. So it's been a really successful group. And it's been amazing to hear the feedback from caregivers, people living with dementia, the connections they've made, and that they continue to have even after the group is over. It's just amazing. We also, for those who are caregiving or those who just have general questions, we have our 24/7 helpline that people can access anytime with any question or concern, big or small. Questions like, is this a warning sign of dementia? Should I be more concerned? Should I talk to my doctor? All the way up to how do I respond when my loved one asks to go home when they already are home? Things like that. And the sister program to that is our care consultation program. So, here locally in Western New York, you can meet with a care consultant like myself who can help guide those one on one conversations. They can answer questions about dementia, about connecting to resources, brainstorm solutions, offer education and support to the person that they're speaking with. And then we also have support groups. So in the Western New York area, we have over 30 support groups, most of which are ran by a volunteer support group facilitator. And many of those are past caregivers, they're people who have a connection to the disease. So it really is a peer to peer group where people can, again, get that guidance and that support from other people who are walking on this journey currently. A lot of them are in person. We also have many virtual or hybrid groups. A lot of them are just general caregiver support groups, but we also have many specialty ones, like if you are caring for a loved one in a facility, a specific one for men, daughters, wives. We know that caregiving for people with Lewy body dementia or frontal temporal dementia can sometimes come with unique challenges. So we also have a specific support group for those caregivers as well. And then being an education program manager, one of my favorites is our education programs. So we go throughout the 8 counties of Western New York, and we also have sister chapters if you're watching from outside Western New York. But we go through the 8 counties of Western New York, raising awareness about this disease, what the warning signs look like, how to keep your brain healthy, but also talking a lot about things that affect caregivers a little later in the disease, like how can I continue to communicate effectively with my loved one as they progress? How do I respond to some of these dementia related behaviors? What are some plans I need to make about money and finances for the future that are unique to caregiving for dementia, and many other topics as well. So we really aim to not only educate and support those directly dealing with it, but also to raise awareness so those in the public are more aware of what dementia looks like and how it affects families, caregivers, and those who have been diagnosed as well.
That's great. I mean, I say dementia really impacts everyone because you don't know, even if you're, working at a gas station, that person
Hmm.
that walks in might be impacted by that in some way. So we're all
Absolutely.
living in a community together and it all impacts us in some way or format. And I just, really appreciate the resources that you provide. There's so many families that we work with at Care Patrol that use you guys and as a support system and really link with the support groups. I love that you have those specialty support groups. It really helps people to hone in on what their specific needs are for creating that community for themselves. And the education programs are just so vital. So thank you for, all of that you guys do there. And of course, thank you to the volunteers that help to support those things too.
We
So
could not do what we do without our volunteers. Some of our education programs are taught by volunteers. We have a lot of wonderful volunteers that help at our office, doing some of that back end work, which is so vital to what we do. So we are so, so grateful to our volunteers. And if anyone's interested in getting involved on that end, please feel free to reach out anytime.
that's great. And like I said at the beginning, in regards to the 2x2 challenge, I'll have information in the comments below if you want to take the challenge, but I'm also going to have more information about the Alzheimer's Association and how to reach the Western New York chapter as well. Um, Now, question two. We are focused on doing this to raise funds for the walk to end Alzheimer's. So, why is the walk such an essential part of the fight against dementia? And how does participating, whether it be walking, donating, or volunteering, help to fuel things long term for you guys?
So the walks they're so vital in so many ways. Of course, the donation piece, it helps fuel our programs. All of the programs I just talked about are 100% free. And the only way we're able to do that is through donations. We do have some grant funding, but the majority of that is funded through events like the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Not only does it fund local programs here, which are currently supporting people, but what about the long term efforts? What are we looking at in the future as the Alzheimer's Association? So I said we have many other sister chapters. We are a national organization. And what our national organization looks at and what some of these funds go to is research. We are one of the top supporters of Alzheimer's research in the world. We impact studies globally, and we look at a lot of different aspects of this disease. We look at risk reduction, knowing what causes this disease, as well as or clinical trials to help produce different therapies for people who are currently dealing with this. So, long term, we're looking at research. We also have some advocacy work that we do. So, looking at federal and state policies that are coming down the pipeline that could affect caregivers and how we can support those. So, really trying to look towards the future and ensure that there's more coming down the pipeline and there's more available to support people with this disease and their caregivers. And hopefully looking towards one day where there's a cure.
And I love that. Tell everybody about the white flower at the walks.
Ah, the white flower. I'm going to try not to get choked up talking about this. So, one of the main pieces of our walk is the Promise Garden. So, before a couple of years ago, we had four flowers. We had the purple flower, which somebody could pick if they've lost someone to the disease. We had the yellow flower, which is for current caregivers, the orange flower, which is for general community supporters, and then the blue flower, which is for people who are currently experiencing the disease or have been diagnosed. And then a couple years ago, when there were more things coming down the pipeline, research really started heating up in the Alzheimer's world, and there was the white flower that surfaced. We have one at each walk. And when we do our opening ceremony, we have a younger person, a child usually, come out with that white flower. And that white flower symbolizes the hope that there will one day be a sea of white flowers at our walks, standing for people who have been cured by this disease and that have survived it. So that hope is there at our walks. This is actually going to be the 10th walk, my 10th year involved in walk. So watching it evolve and just seeing more and more people come together for this disease and for our community has been heartwarming and heartbreaking. Seeing how many more people are affected by it. But it also means we're raising more awareness about this disease as well. So they are a super fun event. There's a lot of things going on site for people. There's kids tents. There's wonderful vendors like Care Patrol that you can visit and get more information from. There's a care consultants like us that you can visit. They always have a lot of great activities planned, great music. And then, of course, for the Buffalo Walk, we get to walk along the wonderful Buffalo Outer Harbor and Canal Side area. And then our other venues as well have some really beautiful locations like the Niagara Falls Reservoir Park, beautiful North Union Street and Olean, Gratiot Park and Dunkirk, and so many more. So we're really excited about our walks this year and just to see them grow how they have the last couple years. But also looking forward to growing them even more so we can do more programs here and support more research in the future.
That's great. Well, with that being said, cheers to hope. Cheers to everything that you guys do for our community, and cheers to all of you that are going to do the challenge and help us to raise awareness and funds. So, again, more information down in the comments. Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you, Julie. We really appreciate you and everything you do. And thank you all as well.
Thank you.